blame, you net it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the ballroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, not the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal piece. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some me should stick it in the ballroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live YouTube AMA. I'm joined by my co-host with the most, LA. LA, how are you today?
Hello, I'm good. It's been a beautiful day, so I'm in high spirits.
It has been. How about that peg? Looking really healthy, huh?
Looking pretty sexy.
Yes, no doubt. And again, special guest, he's been popping in and out on a few of these, but looks like Bill Gates made it, our other co-host with the most. Bull, how are you today, brother?
Good. How's everybody else doing today?
Good, man. Really good. We got an action-packed one, as usual. Again,
They're all action-packed,
no,
man.
They are, Bull.
Bam, bam. You know, you gotta load it up and shoot it out. And I heard you talking about Peg, and I was looking at it, and thinking, yeah, like, you know, I don't want to give anybody like the false sense of hope, that type of thing. But yeah, I mean that's a really good move. I think seems like people are anticipating fusion. And so I don't want, you know, like, I don't want to be that guy that says everything's on the up and up and everything's, you know, completely turned around and, you know, the market's great and, you know, mortgage your house and invest in Bitcoin. I'm not that guy, but yeah, I think people are really very optimistic here in this ecosystem, especially when you look at the rest of DeFi. And tangentially related, I'll just mention this, is that, you know, none of us here are that guy or that gal that says, "Oh, I told you so." But, you know, if you just look at the state of like DeFi and how many scams there are, and, you know, I've talked to so many people over the last couple of weeks that they're just so sick of the scams in DeFi. And, you know, it's where we've talked about this a lot, that you have to be here for something more than just money. And I know that sounds stupid, but you do. Because scammers are just here for the money. Do you want to be different than them? Yeah, you're doing something. You're operating in a way different than them. But, you know, I would hope that everybody is here for something different, because if it's just going to be chasing the money, I feel like people are just going to fall for the same scam time after time after time, and DeFi is not really going to grow. And, you know, that does concern me, because there are a lot of good people here. There are a lot of good projects in DeFi, and, you know, we should want to have our friends who are just into blue chips in DeFi. We should want to be able to bring normies into DeFi. And if, you know, if that first impression, you know, when you say DeFi to somebody and they're like, "Ooh, shit, that's scammy," we all of us here should do a better job at, you know, changing that narrative, because I think, by and large, like, DeFi is the best place for those kind of life-changing gains, and that's financial, but it's also like in the friends that you make, the networks that you build, And so I think there's a lot of work to be done, but if we could, double the amount of people in DeFi, look at the money that would come in here, the projects that could be built. But it's really just tweaking around the edges to make sure that people don't fall victim to those scams, and that when somebody hears the word DeFi, they don't think, oh shit, that's a scam. They think there's life-changing gains to be made there, and there are a lot of good people and a lot of really interesting projects. And so I would hope that everybody would feel the same way, that they would want to change the narrative in DeFi, because we have to be able to bring in new people. And if that first impression is going to be, oh, it's a scam, you know, uh, like DeFi is going to have a tough road, and there's no reason why it should, because there's really truly so many amazing products here and people. So get out there and be positive and promote DeFi in the best possible way and help people to not fall victim to scams.
I love it. Absolutely, Bill. Again, your infinite words of wisdom, and yeah, we'll talk more about how we're trying to make DeFi a better place and a lot more interoperable place as well. So we'll get into that in a minute here. But yeah, today will be a fun one. Again, a little more casual than usual. I'm trying to probably wrap it up a little early. We have been on an amazing AMA run. Literally 16. I've lost track. I know it's at least 16 AMAs over the last about 8 days. And
Last night counted as 4, right?
yeah, exactly. So for those of you, we were joking about this in some of the chats. We did a 4-hour AMA with your box last night. So that was recorded and it will be coming out. But yeah, LA, I know we had a meeting and before I knew it, it was 1 a.m. So yeah, leave it to your box. He's always the most thorough. But yeah, that was a great one. We did a really deep dive into some of the tech behind L1X. I know a lot of you that may be a little more software focused or nerdy, for lack of a better word, were interested in how the tech actually works. And Matu did an amazing job going through and giving some things. Again, all proprietary software that's been built from the ground up with their own virtual machine, and it's what makes L1X truly revolutionary. So keep an eye out for that. We confirmed another AMA today with Dow King. That'll be tomorrow. So we still have a lot more to go through as we get closer and closer to the deadline. I know, we've had some great momentum so far. Usually, the most action happens in the last few, days of a pre-sale, and so we're already over 500K, almost 600K at this point for the L1X pre-sale. But what, LA? Only about 8 days left, right? March 14th. It'll be here before we know it. So.
Yep, 8 days left.
Perfect. So again, as long as you're contributing, you're guaranteed that allocation. There may be a situation where, if you see some larger players come in or the volume picks up, we may have to end the pre-sale early. But as of right now, it's set for March 14th. And again, usually we see a lot of volume in the last few days as people don't want to miss out. So really, it's an exciting
And just
time.
a reminder,
Yeah, go ahead, Bella. Yeah.
and just a reminder, you can deposit as many times as you want, as long as every deposit is over $100.
Yes, great point. Again, on all four networks, ETH, BNB Chain, Matic, or Polygon, and I believe AVAX, right? Is that the fourth? Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. So, and only USDC or USDT. And once you do deposit, you'll see in the upper right hand corner, it will say My Wallet, and it will give you a ledger on what you have deposited and when, as well as the amount of L1X tokens that you are eligible to receive. So, yeah, exciting stuff in the works. So, all right, again, I know a lot of people have been asking about what it means for EMP. by having this DEX. And so, for those of you that have been on a few of the AMAs, you may have heard this, but this paints an incredible picture for EMP moving forward. So the revenue from the DEX, again, we've been awarded the contract to produce the Launch Dex of Layer 1X. So not only is that massive in terms of volume and exposure, but because of the technology that L1X provides, we really feel like this can be the new hub of all exchanges on every chain, and therefore all the volume and fees that come with that. So, I know it's a big claim, but if it's a better, a faster, a cheaper, a more secure option, then the users will come no matter what. So we're really excited for that, and that means potential massive revenue for EMP and DEX Finance as well. Because we are building the DEX, we have equity in the DEX, and that was another reason we didn't want to release a third token. Again, for an example, PancakeSwap has the Cake token, and that token is highly speculative, highly inflationary, and then PancakeSwap uses a very small percentage of their fees to support that token. Well, that's not very efficient. So we want to use L1X. Again, the base native asset of the chain, the gas token, and now the token of the DEX as well. And then we will simply have a pure revenue share model where you're rewarded for providing liquidity um, in the actual revenue that the exchange generates. So again, it's just a much more streamlined process. And to give numbers, I mean, PancakeSwap does $400,000 a day in fees. Uniswap does $4 million a day in fees, and I would say if you combined all the exchanges on all the chains, you'd be somewhere in, probably the $6 million a day range. And so even a very small percentage of that would be tens of thousands of dollars a day going back into EMP, and then eventually being distributed through either EMP Fusion, or Detonator, or Reactor, or whatever part of the ecosystem needed support. And that's really why this is so bullish to the longevity of EMP as well. So, yeah, anything on that you want to elaborate on, LA?
I think you nailed it.
All right, awesome. Well, again, I'm happy to answer questions as well, so please feel free to type your question in the chat. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as well. So, and with all this, we're not abandoning EMP by any means. If anything, EMP is getting stronger through all the connections and exposure and revenue streams that we're building for EMP. And so the big thing is fusion, and we've talked about this a lot. It's also known as the final form. It really is going to be a solution to all the shortcomings that we've seen in EMP. It removes the user error in EMP, where right now we see as peg starts going up again, at any time somebody could sell EMP, which is their prerogative. This is DeFi. We're not here to handcuff or gatekeep anybody, but that is a negative aspect of the ecosystem because it pushes peg down while all of us are still trying to do what is helpful for the protocol. So Fusion will eliminate all of that. And so again, using NFTs, using gamification, using incentives, we are able to really eliminate the human error in seigniorage protocols. And we move to what we call a protocol-owned emissions schedule. And this is proven to work. Again, Dex Finance, who we become very close with now, they have never lost peg from the day they started. And so, we're adopting a lot of their economic models and making it even more powerful in Fusion. Again, it's not a fork. We're still adding our own flair to this, but it's not something that we hope will work. It's something that has been proven to work. And so, you with that, the number one thing you want to be doing is, again, building your position in EMP now before the eventual peg recovery happens. And, that's not financial advice. Again, everybody is free to do whatever they want. And depending on your risk tolerance, maybe you want to go into up EMP, maybe you want to go into nodes, maybe you want to have LP, maybe you want to just hold EMP liquid. I mean, there is no right or wrong answer as long as you are accumulating EMP and eShare at what we feel is rock bottom prices. All of you will have a much larger ownership of Fusion once it's live. So again, we can't really go into too much detail. We're going to release a white paper when we're closer to launch. But that is some alpha for all of you that are loyal and do show up and have been part of our ecosystem from the beginning. So, LA, you want to kind of talk a little bit more about that? Maybe some philosophies you have that apply to what we're doing?
Yeah, for sure. And just to ask you one more question before I do that, it obviously it benefits every single individual doing what you just suggested. I mean, you're giving them a roadmap, but as a whole, for the protocol and for all of our best interests, as well as the protocol as a whole, because Fusion is designed to be so sustainable and not only to encourage sustainability, but to inspire growth, would it not be a good idea for us all to work together and get closer towards PEG so that when we launch Fusion, it can help to sustain it?
Yeah, that's a great point, LA. So again, I think, as we get closer, and there's a really big event that we haven't even released yet that will be a catalyst in all of this. And so that announcement will be coming even before Fusion. So stay tuned for that. But to LA's point, yes, I mean, the fact that we as a community are able to, you know, start reallocating basically into EMP is bullish. And by doing that, I've said this all along, and I think, it still doesn't really resonate with some people, but EMP is deflationary. So again, we're below peg. There is less EMP on the market every single day. Again, through some of the burn mechanisms, through L1X, I'm sorry, through Level X, through the magic vaults. There's a lot of things that take EMP off the market forever. And so the more that all of you are accumulating EMP at these levels, there would be a situation where you would never be able to accumulate EMP or eShare this cheap ever again. And again, that's not to instill FOMO. It's not financial advice. It's simply the economics of what is happening. And so again, those that have been here on the ground floor, that have had the conviction to stick with us, you end up getting a much larger share of ownership in the protocol for again being a good actor and being here. And even that word, I know, over the last few AMAs we've done, some people don't like that good actor, bad actor comparison. And the more I think about it, the more I tend to agree. I mean, we definitely, everybody, it's their own free will, to buy and sell. That's the beauty of crypto. But moving towards a model that eliminates the quote unquote bad actor from negatively impacting the good actor, that is what truly will be accomplished with Fusion. And that is just such a better system moving forward. And again, I mean, e-shares become even more powerful in Fusion. The boardroom will operate a lot differently. And I think some people get nervous about that. But you have to understand, change is good, especially if the change means we have a much more sustainable model, a higher yield model and a model that will be here, for years to come. So, no more band-aids, no more, plugging the holes. Fusion will be a long-term solution for the health of EMP, for what we feel is forever. So, yeah, 100% LA. Does that answer
For
your
sure.
question? Or yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I just wanted to share some perspective on something I was thinking about over the weekend. And good old Facebook memories reminded me of a blog post I wrote a few years ago. And it got me thinking because it's just so true. So I just wanted to share this. Um, there's two ways that we can live in life, and one of them is highly effective, and it gets us towards our goals and the things that we really, really, really want in life a lot quicker. And there's another way, and it unconsciously holds us back from the things that we truly want, even though we think that it it protects us. So in life, we can either play to win or we can play not to lose. And it really, really applies to this scenario because there's a lot of people playing not to lose right now. And that might look like waiting around to see what happens. That might look like, you know, taking actions that protect yourself. That might look like taking actions out of fear. And when we do that, what happens is because you're subconsciously taking actions that are fear based, you actually manifest the very things that you're scared of or the very results that you don't want. Um, because you, when you take, when you live life to win, when you live your life to win, not just living not to lose, you are focused on the things that you want and you take the actions that will get you there, even if they're a little bit scary or if they take courage to take them, or if you have to step into the unknown and the results are not absolutely certain. Uh, but they're certain in your mind because you know exactly where you're going and the vision of where you're going and what you're working towards creating. And so you feel the fear, but you do it anyways. And so, and that's not to say to take reckless, stupid choices in your life and just go around recklessly taking action. But we all have strong intuitions, and we know, how to surround ourselves with the right people. But that being said, the reason that I'm bringing that up here is that we've done our best to really give a pretty clear roadmap on what's to come, and we're giving a pretty clear uh, way for you guys to play to win if you choose to. You can choose to play not to lose and protect yourself and kind of hang around and see what happens and wait. And then you can start purchasing EMP and eShare when the prices skyrocket because the peg is going up, 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 and momentum's taking flow and everything's on its way up. And then you buy, and the prices are 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times more expensive. So you get a lot less for your money. Or you can choose to play to win, and you can take action when it's smart to do so because you're literally being provided with a treasure map, and all you have to do is follow the dotted line to the X on the little picture of all the gold coins inside that treasure chest. And literally, we have provided the entire map, all the dotted lines throughout the whole little journey, all over the map, and the big X. And all you have to do is follow those dots. And that's playing to win. And, the results are not certain, but we've made them as certain as we possibly can
Totally.
without them being 100% certain. So I just wanted to say that because those two philosophies in life have very different results, and whatever area of your life you apply them to, they'll have very different results. And I just wanted to share that with you today.
I love it, LA. Man, that gets me hyped. Again, you've been killing it with your analogies. Usually Bull is the analogy master, but you're giving a run for his money. You did a great little recap of the hero's journey story, which I think also applies to what we've gone through, the different peaks and valleys of EMP's success. But yeah, I mean, and again, personally speaking, I have that mentality both in real life and in crypto. My real world businesses, I mean, I've always played to win, when I started my art gallery, people thought I was crazy. The stereotype of a starving artist is true. But we combined music and art and craft beer and really made a business out of it. And some people look at you crazy, but when you actually become successful, they're the ones that go, man, I wish I would have been involved sooner, and I had every opportunity to do that. I just didn't have the right mindset. And so, yeah, I think that's massive, LA. And again, we're not here to give financial advice. We're not here to tell you to invest or what to invest in. We're simply here to provide you that treasure map, like LA said.
Yeah. You
So,
have to choose whether or not it's right for you to follow it.
yeah, 100%.
But when they look at you like you're crazy, that's how you know you're onto something, right?
Absolutely, LA, totally. So, and again, we have some incredible, members of the community that have been with us through thick and thin, and I think a lot of you are, already capitalizing on everything that we've said. And that being said, one of those community members again has put their money where their mouth is, and that is Kirk with Speakeasy. So I don't know if he is on today, but I can give a quick recap. If you see him pop in LA, we can bring him on stage. But yeah, Speakeasy launched on the 4th, so 2 days ago. It is a ROI platform that one of our community members started, and they use EMP as a revenue generating tool for their own ecosystem. And this is not only incredible that again other protocols are leveraging EMP, but now it's with a very good, trusted member of our community that knows how to play the game when it comes to EMP to not only yield the most, but also be the most beneficial to our ecosystem. So I think today alone, he purchased upwards of 300,000 EMP on behalf of the Speakeasy protocol. So that is extremely bullish. And again, why we've seen Peg start to climb. And a lot of other people have bought EMP as well. This is all 100% organic. And it goes back to the point of we have said all along, we can build the most amazing protocol, but if nobody wants to support it, there's only so much we can do. And so by having this new volume and this new sentiment, this new excitement about what is going to happen at EMP, that is helping us recover Peg completely organically. So it just shows that the power really is in all of you and in the community. And so once we slowly continue that upward step of regaining Peg, we release Fusion, we have massive revenue streams to support us long term. We could see something, again, truly revolutionary where not only have we recovered Peg completely, but now the ecosystem is working better than has ever worked before because of everything that we've built, everything that we've learned over this last year and a couple of months. That again, everything is a learning experience. We consider ourselves DeFi experts, but until you're in the trenches, there's a lot you don't know. And so we've applied everything that we've learned to EMP and Fusion that makes this even more powerful for the future. So yeah, super, super excited for all that. LA, is Kirk here or no? Did he show up?
I didn't see him on tonight.
All right, well, we'll bring him on for an AMA. Again, he's been super busy. What did I say? Be careful what you wish for. Right? So he knows what it's like to run his own project now, and that's definitely not as easy as it sounds. So, but we'll have Kirk on to give a recap. Again, a lot of you are already in Speakeasy. There's a pinned post in our socials if you want to learn more about that, and please consider using our affiliate link because again that will be another revenue stream for EMP. We'll be buying back and burning all the EMP from the referral address of Speakeasy. So yeah, awesome stuff to come. So all right, and then one last thing, and then we'll take some questions. Was our VIP round. So I did speak to Charlie. He helps us manage all the VIPs. And yeah, we're gonna try our best to have another round of VIP before Fusion is live. But remember, we're always looking at wallets that may qualify by not selling their EMP. And that's not to again gatekeep or sell shame or anything that people say is a negative to that. It's simply to reward those of you that are here for the right reasons. And, it's not necessarily an unfair advantage because, those that have the best interests of the protocol in mind, they deserve to have the most, rewards and most opportunity within our ecosystem. So we'll let you know on that. But again, just remember, being a good actor will have a bunch of fringe benefits as well. So, all right, LA, you want to go through some questions, or you want me to elaborate on anything we talked about today?
There's a couple questions. Jim said, so is it expected that partners of the protocol would not sell their EMP?
So yeah, I mean that is the agreement, gentleman's agreement that we've had with a lot of our partners. Most have abided by that, some haven't, but that's another discussion altogether. But yeah, I mean I think Speakeasy understands that they can yield more, by doing all the right things, providing LP. Again, they've invested over $50,000 into EMP, and that is what I consider the bottom. So even the price appreciation alone on that investment could be very lucrative. And again, the whole idea with Fusion is that even if people did want to scale out of EMP, it doesn't negatively impact the peg as much as it would now. So yeah, does that answer, LA?
Yeah. And Old Man Crypto wanted to know if you know when the Yabonks AMA is going to drop.
Yeah, so again, it was a doozy. So about 3.5, 4 hours. I don't know how long he'll edit it down to be, but I'm guessing it will be well over 2.5 hours. And so it will depend on how long how long it takes him to edit. But he knows that we're on a tight deadline. So I'm assuming sometime tomorrow or at the very latest on Wednesday.
So let's just remind everyone of how they can deposit in the pre-sale.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, if you visit L1XPresale.com, I think LA has posted the link in the chat. You can find it on all of our socials. Again, do not fall victim to scams. We'll never DM you. We'll never tell you about an airdrop. All of that is fake. But yeah, you can go right to the website. Again, L1XPresale.com. You can enter your wallet and you can deposit a minimum of $100 on 4 different chains, a maximum of $50,000. And if you would like to deposit more, please feel free to reach out to us. We've already had a few that have taken advantage of that. So feel free to reach out to any of the admins, and we can make sure that we, don't, because we do have people watching the chains to make sure nobody's trying to get more allocation than they have committed to. So we have to kind of whitelist those wallets if they're over 50K. So definitely reach out. But yeah, that is going well. And just remember, there is a lot of opportunity cost associated with the pre-sale. So what I mean by that is your tokens are vested for a total of 15 months. So if you invested $1,500, you would only get $100 a month every month for 15 months. But Joe PV Trader, one of our awesome community members, did a spreadsheet, and I believe the master's number was $1.56 or $1.60, somewhere in there. Right, Joe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
$1.50. You got it right.
$1.50. All right, that you, if level X goes to $1.50, you would be able to get your initial ROI or your initial capital back just in that first month. So go ahead, Joe. You want to elaborate on that a little bit, brother?
Yeah, I can do it real quick. I know I kind of went off the last time. I was just too excited.
Yeah, no, I
but yeah,
love
the
it, bro. Yeah.
a lot of people were just curious on how it works. So you can put in the amount you invest. I put 1,500 in the chart, but you could do something as simple as 150. And of course, I'm using those numbers because they're easy to divide by 15. So yeah, basically, like AJ said, when it launches, you're going to get 1/15th. So if you put $150 in, that gets you 1,500 tokens at the 10-cent pre-launch price. Automatically, they're going to be worth 50 cents each. But you would get distributed 100 L1X tokens regardless of the price. So always think of it in tokens. So you get 100 tokens per month for the next year and 5 months. A year and 3 months. You can choose to save them, which would be really smart because with such high utility, like AJ said, these layer one tokens really, once people catch on to the news, they don't want to be left out. And there'll be staking opportunities. You could even run a full node. You're going to need them as utility on the DEX. So yeah, definitely, it's all good things.
Yeah.
And the calculator just makes it real simple. I just wanted to bring up what you were saying, AJ, about good actors, bad actors. I like to think of it more as short-minded versus long-minded people. And that's really what it is, because you get nervous, when the price goes down. We talked about this. Of course, some people sell, and if you overinvest, I can't blame you. Sometimes you have to put what we call a stop loss, or just get out, cool off, and gather your thoughts and try to think about, hey, what am I really doing? So we always say don't invest more than you want to lose, but really just don't invest more than you're uncomfortable with. I don't want to lose anything. That's why I'm in DeFi. And that's why I'm so excited about AJ, you coming up, you and Jake having the DEX, because, everyone knows what can happen on a centralized exchange, not your coin, not your keys, not your coins. Unfortunately, we have to go on exchanges to buy tokens, but you go on, you on-ramp your fiat, you buy your tokens, you take it off. But what makes DeFi so powerful, and everyone on this call knows about, is you own the coins. You have it in your Ledger wallet, or hopefully in a hardware wallet, or at the very least in MetaMask. You control the tokens. You can go to Pancake, swap out for whatever you want, and they're your tokens. They're not held on the exchange. So yeah, I think as more people understand how DeFi works and the power that it brings, and now the L1X with what you're putting together, AJ and Jake, is just so powerful because the fees now are going to be reduced so much, and that cross chain where we don't have to worry about, do I have my BUSD on Ethereum, or is it on Binance, or USDC? It's all going to be integrated together. All the heavy lifting's done on the back end, and you really are just going to push the buttons around on how you want to move your tokens for 1 cent at most, and a lot of times they'll be less. So yeah, as far as like people buying EMP, I think that's awesome. I mean, right now is really going to be one of the lowest points you can buy it. So not only is Ethereum down, but we're down to 0.21 on the peg.
So from here, I mean, the upside is massive. We're looking at a 5x, which is like 400% on your EMP. So what do you think I'm doing? I'm getting my EMP loaded up and ready for Fusion. I may not know exactly what's going to happen in Fusion, but AJ, LA, you've laid out the blueprint of what we need to do. And I think that's all I need to do. I don't need the prize ruined. I just need to know what actions I need to take. And that's good enough for me. And once it launches, then I can strategically kind of figure out where to disperse everything. So for me right now is getting that EMP and EMP up that we talked about the other day. Someone did a calculation of up EMP. I'm sorry. Yeah. They did a calculation of 0.44% roughly. It's averaged out since launch. But I think that only tells part of the story, because you got to remember it's like a liquid node, like I said, because even if the node, a giganode, paid 0.44 per day, it is not the equivalent, because if you put in those 8,000 EMP, it's locked up and you have to get that back only through daily rewards. So with the up EMP, you just need to wait roughly 45 days at the current rate. And not only, you'll get your full 8,000 tokens back, but every day after that is going to be profit. And the way it's modeled, it only goes up. So we've been seeing that every day that it goes up, it goes up. So for me, I know the power of having EMP now. And if I can grow it in something pretty incredible like up, that's exactly where I'm putting it. And if I know eShare is going to skyrocket once we recover PEG, when it does that 5X on the EMP side, I'm definitely stocking up on eShare. So every time it dips, I'm stocking up on that, getting in the farm. So right now in the bear market, this is where you make your money. You kind of get yourself in the position, put it in a protocol like EMP where you can earn money, put it in up EMP where you can earn more EMP, which is the native token. That sounds like it's going to make sense to hold a lot of it since you can own a bigger share of the protocol. I mean, the steps are laid out. You just got to follow the steps. And I think a lot of people are doing that. So yeah, I'm really excited for what's coming.
Amazing, Joe. Man, again, brother, every time you jump on, the last few AMAs have just been so bullish to me. And, I know I'm a little close to the chest. I know what's coming. So sometimes it's hard for me to contain my excitement. But yeah, I think you did a killer job laying out, all the opportunities. And yeah, I know there was some discussion on converting the node emissions to up EMP. We actually feel like we may have an even better solution moving forward. So that is still kind of being worked through. But as you said, Joe, even with the volume that we have now, and the Treasury definitely has helped subsidize, up EMP, because we know a lot of good actors, again, not to use that term, but a lot of good participants are in up EMP. So yeah, we're wanting to, again, foster those that are locking up EMP. And I mean, even that alone, I think the last I looked, there's like 1.5 million EMP that's locked up inside of up EMP and growing by the day. That takes a lot of supply, circulating supply off the market. And, that also helps, again, regain PEG and everything that goes along with that. So, yeah, a lot of really cool stuff in the works. And again, I think we have the man himself here. We stalled enough he could break away. Kirk, are you there, brother?
Hey, my ears.
Yeah. All right, bro. I can hear you loud and clear. I know we were joking.
Oh,
I thought maybe you were taking a nap after all the 3 or 4 days of nonstop work. Again, there's no unless you've done it before, there is no way to describe what it's like to go through a product or a project launch like you have. So yeah, maybe give us a little overview of how Speakeasy went. Now that it's officially open, and then that giant green candle that we saw on the EMP chart. So yeah, go ahead, brother.
yeah, man. Yeah, the Speakeasy launch went great. It was over the weekend for those of you who didn't know about it. On Saturday, we launched on Saturday, and we had a really great first day and through Sunday, and we ended up nearing almost 1,000 BNB coming in, which, depending the BNB price fluctuates, but, over $250,000 US and over 1,000 BNB. And, which was, I don't know that I had an expectation, but I was super happy with that result. And that's on top of the nearly 100,000 we already took in prior to launch. So, we have had this opportunity, as some of you guys know, in the VIP group a little bit, that over the last several weeks I've been teasing how we've been slowly building up our position in primarily the EMP ETH LP farm, and trying to get, before we launched, my goal was to get $10,000 worth in there, and we got a little bit more than that. And as of today, we're at $50,000. We made a buy today of 150,000 EMP, and paired 100,000 of it with ETH and went into the farm with that as well. So we've still got 50,000 EMP sitting in the wallet. Put a little bit in up EMP. We were just talking about that. So we're going to keep moving forward with this. This is by no means the last buy that we're going to do. I didn't want to do it all at once. So, but I'm really excited. It's really fun to watch the needle move a little bit, and on Peg, and
For sure.
So that's a lot of fun. And we've got some great stuff coming up that we did a little promotional pre-launch thing with EMP on our membership key cards, where you could buy one of those using EMP, and we're going to be doing a similar thing with cocktails in the future. So it's a little alpha.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Leave them with the alpha, Kirk. I know you and I have been talking heavily behind the scenes on strategizing, for not only what's best for EMP, but also what's best for Speakeasy in terms of yield. And again, that's the beauty of our protocol, is that, through people like Kirk, and whether you're a private investor or a protocol, you can leverage, the yield from EMP for your own benefit while still supporting, our ecosystem, which is why the seigniorage model is just so incredible, because literally no other project in terms of economics works like that. There has to be, a winner and a loser, so to speak. So yeah, totally. Go ahead, Kirk. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I was just going to agree with you and say, I've been trying to educate the people that are coming in on Speakeasy that aren't from EMP, which is a lot of them, and just about how bullish I am about this and about fusion and everything that's happening. And I mean, I'm bullish on the whole ecosystem, obviously, but EMP to me, I just would echo what Joe was saying a minute ago. Is like eShares looks great, the opportunity is there, but boy, I just can't believe I'm hoovering up this much EMP at 8 cents, for the protocol, because I just know that's a win. I just know that's a win. It doesn't. You don't have to, be a rocket scientist to know that. And I'm just very excited at the price appreciation potential just on the native token alone. So it's very exciting.
Totally. No, I couldn't have said it better, Kirk. And again, to comment on your protocol specifically, and an ROI contract that has actual revenue streams, I mean, that is the future. We're moving away from these Ponzonomic protocols and really focusing on things that are much more sustainable. And again, I mean, everything is a game, we can't predict the future, but in terms of, again, building for sustainability, I think Speakeasy has done, one of the best jobs I've ever seen in terms of what that means. So I'm personally invested. Again, we have a position with the Treasury as well. And then the referral address that we posted in some of our socials, every bit of that will go towards buying and burning EMP every single day. So again,
Right.
another great way to indirectly support. And, just to be clear, this isn't an official partnership or an official endorsement, but we do, support what they're doing. Any protocol that wants to build, that and support EMP, we can get behind. So just make sure you do your own research when getting in. But yeah, anything
Yeah.
else you want to add, Kirk? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, just really quickly, I was just going to say that before you did, so you beat me to it. But yeah, I mean, I had told AJ, when I first came up with this idea that, I actually didn't want him to have to partner officially, and that I was going to do this regardless of whether he blessed it or not. And the reason is because I see that much potential here, and I've been here almost the entire time. And so for those of you who may not know me that well, I've been running the EMP Academy, and so I've been around the protocol for over a year now. And I just believe in it 100%, and so much so that our whole protocol over there at Speakeasy, well, a big chunk of it is based on EMP, and now we're at over 400,000 EMP in our treasury, and we're not stopping there. So if you want to take a look at it, that's great. There's a big chunk of it that has to do with EMP, so you can support EMP by being in another protocol, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's a separate thing, and we're just doing our own thing and trying to support the EMP family as we do it.
Totally. Awesome, Kirk. Well, thank you again, bro. And
Thanks, man.
yeah, we'll have you back on again. I know you dropped a little alpha. There may be a specific cocktail coming for EMP. So yeah, we'll have you back on when we're able to announce what that is and the benefits of having that one. So yeah. All right, brother. Awesome.
Cool, man. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Yep. Bye-bye. Take it easy. All right. Awesome. And then, yeah, just again to wrap things up here, again, I want to make it a little bit shorter one today. My voice is on its last leg already. I'm feeling the burn today. The AMA train is needs a refill for sure. But we also had an amazing AMA with Chris Farrell today. So again, I know a lot of you know Chris as well. I see some new faces in the chat that came over from Chris. So we did a really in-depth talk on L1X, and we're going to be doing an AMA with them about Fusion in about 3 weeks as well. So we're getting closer and closer. The code of Fusion is the base contract is finished, but we have to do some testing. We have to do the front end or the user interface, the UI, to make things very simple. And again, there may be a new look to EMP as well, so that's another bit of alpha. I can leave you all for being here. We may be going through yet another sort of rebranding as well. So the whole idea is that we're setting everybody up that has already been part of EMP to have amazing positions, but then we also want to attract new users as well. And so, by again, Chris Farrell, just bringing him up again, he's a great marketer. And so we're going to start leveraging some of our heavy marketing contacts. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm sorry, on Twitter, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't really do a lot on Facebook anymore. But if you follow me on Twitter, you may see as well, I reconnected with an old friend of mine, 2 of them actually. One is Jerry Banfield and one is Joe Paris. And again, both of them have millions of followers as well. So we're gonna once Fusion is done, we will have an entirely new wave of new users. That again, not only is that new blood into EMP, but with our track record, with our history, with our transparency, and then being around for over a year in DeFi, right as what we feel is the beginning of the next bull run. I mean, the stars could absolutely align in terms of what we're gonna be rolling out. So stay tuned. Again, a lot of new blood will be here. And even if we didn't have to rely on new blood, which we don't, with the layer 1 Dex, again, we'll have the name for it coming shortly. That will be a massive revenue stream that supports EMP regardless of new users. So you combine both of those, new users and revenue, and that is when you see magic happen in terms of price appreciation. So all of that is in the works, and again, I cannot be more excited for the future. So, LA, anything you want to add? Any final words before we wrap it up?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to just announce. For anyone who uses DBank, we have noticed that they are having display issues, I'll just say, well, especially when it comes to EMP. So some people are noticing that when they connect their wallet or when they look up their wallet on DBank, they're seeing that it displays certain rewards, especially in EMP, that don't actually exist or that they claimed months and months ago. So just as a practice, always pay attention to the actual EMP UI because that's the correct rewards. If you see that you have rewards to collect on your EMP UI, that will be the correct rewards that you have. Currently, DBank is experiencing some errors.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yes, absolutely, LA. Again, I think it has to do possibly with the original eShare vault, and now that we've migrated over, there's some weird things happening. But and really, MetaMask and Binance Smart Chain have been really buggy lately anyway. So I know a lot of you have been having some issues, even trying to deposit to the L1X presale. So just again, if you're having issues, feel free to jump into our Discord or Telegram. Never answer a DM. It's usually something we can help with publicly. So don't get scammed. We don't have a tech support team, so don't connect to the EMP tech support. All of those are scams, but yeah, we're more than happy to help you out with all that. So all right, and then
There's one more.
yep, good. Yeah, I did see that one too. I think from
Okay,
WH,
cool.
that one, LA.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he says, or he or she, I think it's a he, WH, old supporter. So it says, AJ, if the transaction fees of layer 1x transactions will be as low as 1 cent, um, what basically what is the value of holding L1X? Well, really, it has to do with volume. So even though the transaction fees are extremely low, and remember, there's a big difference between gas fees and exchange fees. So I think the average exchange fee on PancakeSwap on top of your gas fee is about 0.03%. So we could have up to a third of that again, making it even more attractive to use our exchange, and we're able to make up the difference in volume. So again, the idea is that we want to run a ton of volume through the exchange. So not only are we charging less, but we're making more in the process of doing that. And if you have an L1X, by staking it or providing liquidity, you are then rewarded with more L1X because again, it's just an equation of how much fees are generated from the exchange, then distributed back to stakers or LP providers. So all of that will be a lot more clear when we release our white paper. Again, we're trying to get through this initial raise with L1X, and then Jake from Dex Finance and myself will be in the war room finalizing all of the economics, all of the branding, all of the rollout for this new exchange. And so we have the next, 4 or 5 months, and however long it may take for L1X to launch, to really have this all ready to roll. So, and again, I mean, we said this on other AMAs, but the deck itself is already halfway built out. So we're a lot farther ahead of the game than it may sound. But we're not finalized on the token economics or any of the other hard details for now. So just keep an eye out, and we will be rolling it out soon.
Awesome. Sweet.
All right. Awesome. Well, I think we're good. Baked Fish says, any projected market cap for L1X? So I think the initial the initial launch market cap is only expected to be about 50 million, which again for a layer one chain is nothing. I mean, I think what even some of the layer twos are over $1 billion in market cap, so there's a ton of room to run, and there's only a maximum supply of L1X as well. So I think the total fully diluted circulating supply of L1X is about 1 billion tokens, but a lot of those are vested over 30 years. So the circulating supply and therefore the market cap has a ton of potential to grow. But that's a really good question. Big Fish, if you join the L1X Discord, they have a really a lot of good discussion about market cap and what that means for price appreciation. So, all right, awesome. I think that was it then. All right, thank you, LA.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Have
again,
a
I'll give
great
you
day or night, everyone.
perfect. All right, I don't know if that was it. If you had any more awesome words of wisdom, but yeah, we'll wrap it up here, and yeah, make sure you join us on Thursday. Again, we'll have our own AMA. Again, we're now doing Mondays and Thursdays at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Maybe a little bit late, like we wrote today, but around that time. And yeah, we have to do it all over again then. So, all right, good night, good day. We'll see you all on Thursday.